Hello survivors, I hope everyone is adjusting to the new year well. I myself am excited to share some things Santa brought me. Okay, this video was supposed to come out a couple months ago, but life got crazy, so it is what it is. What I got were these pink squares. I think these are officially called extruded polystyrene, or in other words, XPS foam. It's commonly used for home insulation projects and among terrain hobbyists. It is a bit more on the expensive side, but this $30 bag I got on Amazon, I mean Santa, is more than enough to build even a couple of big buildings. With that being said, I'll leave a link in the description and we can get started. Today I am building something every Zombicide game needs, which is a hospital. Well, not exactly a full-blown hospital, but an urgent care. I am building this one loosely based off of my local one here in Arizona. There is no paper on the outside like foam board you get from Dollar Tree, so I just jump into sketching right on it, after I find what pen actually works on this. It's a fine 0.1 by the way. I keep in mind that this isn't a foot-for-foot replica of the building, so pretty much all measurements will be rounded for simplicity. Now to cut it out, or is it? Well, yes, but not with a knife. I couldn't resist buying this hot wire cutter on Black Friday last year. Hot cutting XPS foam should be done in a ventilated area with a mask though. This thing is not necessary as everything I do with it can be done with a knife, but the hot wire cutter does it better, cleaner, and more precise. It even has a rotating arm for bevel cuts. Now that I have my pieces, I can start to measure out the windows and doorways. I will be using these Lego doors that I got from Amazon as well. I will also use these windows I got a long time ago to build the window frame around the door. I have the frame built out with a double door. The front entrance will probably be the only place for windows since this is a small medical center. That's usually how they build them for privacy. I wanted to bulk out the sides of the doors instead of just putting the windows there, so I used some smaller pieces of pink foam, which probably wasn't the best idea since I used super glue and it is corrosive on the foam. I thought no worries though, as I just pivoted and used the baking soda trick. Also not a good idea. After some more surgery though, I am left with this. Definitely not the prettiest, even for an apocalypse setting game, so I ended up scrapping the door. And off camera, I salvaged what I could from the first door and added some more windows, and came out with this. More simple, which I'm much more happier with. I also thickened the wall with wood pieces and made this frame so the door would have a surface to hold on to.
I then cut places for the 8 other doors and added the wood frames to each door, as it actually adds strength to the frame and keeps the edges straight. I still want to have the pieces be collapsible too for space, so I decided to finally use these neodymium magnets I got years ago. I roughly lined up the connection points and made a mark to cut out. I'm not going to be gluing in the magnets just yet, so I used some duct tape to keep them in place. I then cut out the base using the cheap foam board and measure out where magnets will go there too. Now that I have the floor, time to work my way up. For the roof, I glue a border of the pink foam around some white foam. I then glued in all the magnets once I was sure they were in the right place. Here is the building so far before I go on to add some more details. I added a foam border along with some wood sticks to hide the roof seam. I also added a border to the bottom of each outside wall for some extra texture. I also added sticks to the tops of the inner walls just to give it a bit more structure look. I made this simple sign to actually label the building officially when it's painted. It will definitely look like a sketchy urgent care that you would never visit, but oh well. I move to outside texturing now. I first draw a border that will be cut out to add a stair step leading up to the building. I then map out where I will have two floor types, one for the lobby and one for the rooms. Originally the plan was to have plain smooth walls, but ultimately decided to have rock walls. I started with the tinfoil ball first, and then carved in the rocks with this tool. Not sure what it's called, but it worked out great.
Off camera, I covered the whole thing in Mod Podge and primed it white. I painted the walls a base coat of gray on the outside and an off-white color on the inside. For the roof, I kept it simple with just a gray top and a brown border. Now that the walls are dried, it's just a matter of painting the rocks so they aren't so alike. I mixed some different paints together, all with gray so that it still matches the rock tone. I then started painting random rocks with each of the paints. When I felt like it was enough, I moved on to the next color until it looked like it varied. I then used some cheap wall filler for the grout. I cleaned it up with a little bit of water and a paper towel. I then dirtied it back up with a brown wash. And lastly, dry brush some white back onto the rocks for some highlights. The floor was next, which I wanted to paint with black and white tiles, so I gave it a coat of white first over everything. I then added the black tiles, and through the power of editing, you won't see the mistake I made. Or will you?
Whoa, whoa. Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
For the lobby, I painted a blue carpet. I I wanted the outside steps to resemble concrete, so I used some hole filler and painted them gray. For the doors, even though it wasn't realistic, I liked the idea of painting them all different colors. That way they're easy to identify in Zombicide missions.
I could be red, or I could be yellow, I could be blue, or I could be purple, I could be green or pink or black or white, I could be every color you like.
For the front door windows, I also used some UV resin to fill in for glass. Once they were cured, I used some pliers to add some jagged edges like it was broken glass. This is just a checkpoint for this building, so on to the glamour shots. My next video will be filling it with terrain. Desks, chairs, examination tables, things you would find in a medical office. Thank you so much for any past and new subscribers that watched. Until next time, keep crafting and keep surviving.